Hey YouTubers, how's it going? I'm here with my 2005 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 5.7 liter SUV, and the starter is hit and miss whether it starts. So I order up a starter from a company that costs a little more, but I like their customer service. The Omix-Ada. There's the part number. Starter for 03 2010 Grand Cherokee Liberty and Commander. Here we go. This is what it looks like. This actually was shipped, I got it through Amazon. It was shipped actually in a bigger box there. So that's good. There's the part number on it. I'm guessing it doesn't come with that nut. I don't know. But there should be one obviously on the car, so I'm not too worried about that. It also comes with this starter characteristics curve report. There's the model number. It was number 444. The date. So less than a year, but it's been sitting around for a while. And this was like 150 something bucks. Yeah, you can get ones for like $60 generic. Omix-Ada seems like they would stand behind any warranty, so I went with them. And you know, it looks like a quality unit. I'm hoping this is correct one and stuff. Don't really know, other than that was the part number they listed online. It would be nice if there was a sticker on the unit that actually said this is for, or paperwork saying this is for your, you know, fit these models, so you would know. But I'll get up under there, show you how you do this. It's not that hard really. I pretty much put the car on some stands. Probably didn't even really need to do that, but I have them. And to make it easy, I'll take off this shaft here from the transfer case, and it goes up front. So I forget size of bolts. There's 4 bolts there. There's like 8 mil bolts here. And what I'll also do is take off this. So I'll take off the skid plate here, take off this cross beam, and I will actually drop that shaft out through the side and get it out of the way, so I can then get up in there and pull out the starter. Because I've tried doing it once way back when, and there wasn't enough room with having the shaft there. And this was when I first got it, so I just remember what a pain that was. It was easy to do, loosely get everything off, but really you need to take this guy off. Now that I know how to do that, it's not that big of a deal. So, okay, follow me along on this adventure, shall ya? Okay guys, so next step. Should disconnect your battery, which is a 10 mil, both terminals. I put a light shining down. And then, I already did all this, but just to show you, take out the half shaft that goes there. You got, first what I did was, took out the bolts for here, which for some reason is a standard size. 5/8 fit the best on those guys. So these two be long, a little bit shorter. Then up in here, shorter. These two are shorter, and then the other side the same way. Here they are, as you can see, pretty long. And the next one's that length, and then these guys are even shorter. So I'll show you the progression here. So I took all those out, both sides, skid plate off also. put a jack under, mostly over on that side, and lowered it. And you'll want a jack, and the car will push up, and that will take tension off the bolt heads. And you undo them. And like I said, I moved the jack down, finished off that side, and then lower it. Gives you a nice space right here. Also let you get to the back side up in there if the car's parked a certain direction to get to the bolt. On the top side is a little easier, and yeah, then it pops right on out. Of course, you undo the front too, which is I believe those are 15 mil, the front of that, and there's 4. And then the starter, hold on, let me climb up under. So there's where your shaft bolts to, and the starter is just above that, those 2 bolts. So do that, it'll pop right off. Should be able to slide right out right through this opening. And there should be 2 wires on it. I think just 2, maybe there's 3. There's a ground, I don't know. I quite don't know, I've never had it fully out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then you wiggle it through. Well, you won't really have to wiggle through it. It should come right out this, no problem, this opening. So here I go. Hey guys, well, I got the starter out. Kind of a pain in the butt because you're working blind up in there, and this will be facing down and that will be facing up, and you're just working blind. That nut is a 13 millimeter, so you only need to remove 1 nut. Then this slides off, so remove that. You're doing it kind of blind. Get a short wrench, short as possible, with a 13 mil. So you use the small guys, the 1/4 inch I believe it is, drivers, and you just get up in there and you're kind of like flipping it, and it's a long post, so it takes a while. And then the new one from Omix-Ada is slightly, here, I'm shaking, slightly shorter. Yeah. But you know, the arrangement's the same. I moved over the heat shield. There's the number for anyone that needs that. It looks like 560441116AD. Or wrap in I know they sell like blankets for these. I've seen them before on like JC Whitney, and then they ran out. I was gonna buy it at one point, way back when I thought I needed this. If you're getting weird starting issues, always check your post, make sure that connection's good. I also put on some dielectrical grease like this. Dielectric grease. I'll cut the can open because these squeeze tubes have 20 years of grease in there after, you know, they lose pressure. Yeah, so debating on the heat shield, but man, this car, it runs so close, probably should have the heat shield. It's just, you know, it's kind of a pain to get up in there, and you know, kind of try to bend that out of the way and use the socket, and it's going to be slow going. I'm going to put some of that on here before I even start. This connector, same thing, I'll put a little here. Hopefully I can slide that one right on. Like I said, I'm working blind in there. Luckily one slide on and one screws on. And you'll transfer it over your nut. And yeah, other than that, I mean, this one looks pretty good. Hopefully that little bit shorter length also helps for installation. Maybe I can turn it a little more, but they don't give you any extra wires. I mean, it's not like you can just, you know, unbolt it and then drop it down. There's like nothing for extra wire up in there. So it is what it is, and yeah, you know, it's one of those things, like, probably if I was going to, you know, this vehicle was newer and this went out and I was doing this, say at, you know, after warranty, say 50, 60,000 miles, and I knew I was keeping it for, you know, 200,000 miles, I'd probably go ahead and trace the starter wires and put a longer wire in and, you know, insulate the wires and just have it so for next time that it would be much easier to drop it out, because like I said, it's a pain. So okay, there we have it. Back to it. Hey guys, so I finished the starter install last night. It's actually a different day, but it was nighttime, and you know that doesn't really equate to a good video. But basically, you know, some tools you'll need like a 8 mil. I got this nice short guy. This one's also a combination. This one's an 8 mil on this side to get the half shaft out, and then you know, once you do all that, like I showed in the video, the starter is the hardest part of this whole thing, because you're doing that all blind. You have this facing down, you have this like this up in there, and it's kind of on the exhaust, and you can't see those posts. So the outside post to your left as you're kind of up in there is the bolt you need to take off. That's a 13 mil. The other, which I guess is a neutral ground, just slides off, which is kind of a pain because again you're doing it blind and you're trying to pull up in a weird position. And I used this 13 mil socket, but if you have one of those stubby sockets, I would probably even work better just to get up in there easier. But I was able to use, you know, just a Craftsman size. You know, it's not the biggest in comparison to that. Yeah, that's probably the hardest part. The new one was a little shorter. Putting it in was a little bit easier. You have a little bit more room. And it seemed like I was able to get all that together like perfect, like real quick. The part putting back together was that half shaft propeller shaft at the front. I had to kind of pull the car a little bit more forward to line up the holes because, you know, stuff settled, and there wasn't enough wiggle room. And that's probably the only other tip, really, you know, doing that. And to take off that crossbar, having the 5/8 socket there, which is funny that fits the best on those bolts. You know, I tried a 17, I tried an 18. Just they were too loose. 17, I think I've used before, and I think that's why they're slightly rounded. It just doesn't fit tight. So it might actually be a 16, but you know, everything I have goes 14, 15, 17. Every socket kit I have. So 16 is obviously not really common. So just so you know, 5/8 does it perfect. I mean, perfect fit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, you know, I used the car today, took my daughter to school, and it starts right up. And yeah, I don't know what more to say other than it starts up perfect. And I might take that one apart just for fun to see the inside. But, you know, 158,000 miles, and it went out. I guess that's not a big deal. Cost me 150 something bucks for the Omix-Ada, which I recommend. I like the water pump. I've liked the parts I've gotten. Their prices are higher, but you know what? It seems like good quality stuff, like OEM's stuff is, versus paying 60 bucks and you read reviews and people are like, it lasted me a month, it lasted me 6 months, it lasted me a year. Well, you know what? I don't want to replace it again. So it's done. You know, it's on there. Hopefully I don't need to touch it. and I'm good to go. So hey guys, I hope this kind of helped you with some tips and tricks, and at least give you the confidence so you know that you can do this yourself and you don't need to pay a shop. It is possible to get it out. It's just kind of a pain, but you know what? So what? So you spend a little bit more money for a better part because you're doing it yourself. And yeah, you know, look at it that way. And you're still saying I spent 150 something for the starter. You know, I don't know what a shop would charge. What, $300 to do this? 400, 500, 600. I guess it depends on the shop. And yeah, so I don't mind spending a little more on a better part. So again, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I hope this helped you guys out. Thanks for watching.